Hi, I'm Wendy with Travel with Wendy. Today, I'll quickly show you how to do small groups with Travefy that helps me with streamlining and promoting my group successfully. So if you have a small group that you're putting together or just a group trip, one of the things that I have found to be very helpful is to create a page. And so we're going to go to pages first today. This is a trip that I have going for Tuscany in June of 2025. However, I am getting ready to put together a trip for Scotland. So we're going to play in that one today. These are the elements that I put in my pages. I do have a protocol in place for when I put a group together, and these are groups that I typically escort as well. So it's very easy in Travefy to create the page, and it does have its own unique website, and I always put the page slug, something simple that relates to it. You want to keep your pages for groups as simple and as general as possible. You don't need to get really specific with the page portion of the trip. That you can do in your day-to-day itinerary, and we'll go over that in a little bit. So the first thing I have, because I actually like my call to action the first thing you see. So if people are interested, most likely they've either talked to me or they've filled out an information form, and there's a reserve your spot right there. And adding a button is very easy. So you just add a button here, and in my button, it is connected to the registration form for Scotland that I've already created in Travefy, and you can just import it here. And then you can see there's the Scotland form, you attach it. So this is very simple. If you go back, you will see that all the different blocks, these are called blocks, have different elements in it. And if you go to this one, this will have your script over here, very easy to read, and you want to highlight the things that are important. For people who are interested in looking, price is always going to be a motivator for them. So I do kind of list that first. And with mine, I always do a land portion and then including air, because some people, let's face it, they have Sky Miles or they have United miles, and they want to take care of their own air. So it's okay to give them two different prices. The cost is going to be listed first things. So then I also include the size of the trip. I've been asked this before, but I always list how many people are going to be on this trip. A trend that we're seeing throughout the travel industry is that people are interested in more small group, intimate experiences that are more authentic. So I always list how many people, how many travelers are going to be on the trip. And then again, I put another button in there for Book Me Now, because they've also got a little bit of information. Then what the tour includes, this can also be edited. Again, your script is very easy. You can go ahead and put the bullet points in. I actually do this script in a Word document and then just copy and paste it in, because I'm going to have it in several different areas of my social media as well as other text that when I'm trying to promote. So it's the same. You don't want to change your text. This is an I'm interested form button down here that you can include. This is just someone who, okay, I've read a little bit, I'm interested, can you send me more information? So that is a separate form that I create, and that is also in Travefy, and I just import it as well. So then I go to the itinerary highlights, and I talk about the cities that we will visit along the way, and also the accommodations, because I don't want to book my accommodations just yet, because I'm not sure how many are going to be booking this. Hopefully it'll sell out. I just explain where they're going to be and the type they're going to be. So we're going to be staying in Edinburgh, Oban, Inverness, and it kind of gives people the idea. On the other side, too, this is going to be the cities and a brief description. When your client is looking at this on their phone, Travefy does a really great job with having it be a slide motion. So they just are going up reading the text as they go along. So it'll be, even though it looks right now that this is This is the view. When they get it on their phone, it's actually like in a column format. I also have a link on this page for in the itinerary highlights that is at the bottom that goes to the day-to-day. And the day-to-day itinerary I also imported from Travefy, and we'll go there next and I'll show you how I did the day-to-day. Down at the bottom, it's the trip payments and the terms of conditions. And everyone is always interested in this too before they sign on the dotted line. So I just try to make it as simple as possible. Of course, when they go to the form, there is a much more detailed authorization for credit card use, travel insurance waiver, etc. But that is in the registration form and much more legal in manner. So this is just the highlight again, talking about the non-refundable deposit at the time of registration, the land pricing again. And also because we're not certain of what the air is, and it could be fluctuating for one client to the other because they've waited, it's closer to the day of departure, I always put in here that prices may fluctuate, and this is just an estimation. Again, another book me now. You can never have more than you need. And then I did decide this time I wanted kind of a carousel to put in here to also entice them with the different landscapes that Edinburgh is, as well as what our tour map is. I will be partnering with Robbie's, and that is the exact tour that they have put together for me. And then again, another join us and a book me now. So you might think that's a little overdone with registration, but you'd be surprised. The average time people spend on a page is typically less than 30 seconds. Most people only spend 38 on my website. So I love that Travefy keeps it nice and simple. So now I'm going to show you my Travefy form. This has been asked quite a bit. The form that you put on your website for your pages is just very simple. It has basic information, the traveler name, date of birth. They can do the passport. And if you haven't taken advantage of this feature with Travefy, it's really amazing. The Travefy passport information has a portion over here where it says, contact document upload. And my clients really like that too. You're not going to get names wrong on their flight information or reservations because you've gotten the passport visually. And then if they're traveling with a second traveler, and then I also have a promotion for photography because I have a website and a YouTube that is it okay for me to photograph and use it. So I have that description because I need to know if they want to be photographed and used in my promotions or not. I also create a small group Facebook private page for the group, and I need to know if they're on Facebook. So travel insurance, etc. So that is just the form. If you are interested in that form, just know that it is available in Marketplace and you just need to go. I've shared it there as well. Now I'm going to show you the day-to-day trip. One of the things that I've discovered that really helps with small groups and Travefy is when I put the cover of the group as the first picture that they see. So I'm going to go to the preview mode and show you what you can see. I did create this cover in Canva using the YouTube thumbnail template. So it's very easy to use, and people really like it because it also follows along with my pages. So again, it's just consistent. So it makes marketing even easier. You don't need to keep recreating it. It's streamlined. Again, so this is the preview of it, a small description, 11 travelers, and then what it's like to work with me. Disclaimer, a small group information statement. So the day-to-day you can see has elements of the flights, the terms and conditions, a little bit about the city, and we're just going through the day-to-day. When you're creating it, I always tell people you can still be somewhat vague here because some people might be traveling from Minneapolis to join you, or some people might be traveling from Atlanta. So I just put the flight from America to Europe until we get to those final details. Then the other thing that I love about Travefy is once I've created this, when people start booking, I can create separate, I can copy this itinerary and create separate itineraries for each client. And again, I just use the same template, but I just put their last name, final itinerary, and then I can import their flight information that's specifically for them. Go through the day to day where you're traveling through. And then at the end, it's going to have my favorite banks. And also next year in Scotland, there is going to be a required fee for each traveler. It's called the ETAS, and that begins actually in January, that people need to pay. And so it's easy to do that through the app. So this year I've included that as well. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough today and how I do small groups in Travefy. Thank you so much for watching and how I Travefy and love Travefy.